Hello, believers. Pastor Ike here, and this is the Love Zone. Thank you sounds like a very simple phrase. However, it carries the power into your divine destiny. Thank you is able to translate a person to a place of joy and liberty. Thank you is the password that ushers us into the presence of God. King David says in the book of Psalm 100 verse 4, enter into his gate with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. And I love how this scripture is rendered in the Message Bible. The Message Bible puts it beautifully. It says that enter with the password, thank you. So this tells you that thank you is the password that ushers us into the presence of God. And when we enter into the presence of God, there is fullness of joy. When we are in the presence of God, there is liberty. When we are in the presence of God, there is peace. When we are in the presence of God, there is an abundance, an overflow. When we are in the presence of God, we are able to hear the voice of God. Goodness and mercy follows us. We experience that tranquility, His peace. We experience His promotion and elevation. All these things happen when we are in the presence of the Most High God. And thank you is the password that brings us there. You can be in the presence of God at all times so that you can receive the strength to keep moving forward. The secret is thank you. And if you are always grateful to the Lord, you will always be in His presence, where there is fullness of joy, where there is strength, where there is power, all the power that you need to be able to overcome the challenges of this life. Thank you can do wonders in your life. Just being grateful to the Lord and taking it very seriously can change your life. The other day I was talking to a very good friend of mine. This is an elder gentleman. He's about 70 years old. And he was telling me how one day he came to his own house, and when he got there, the lights were off, and so he parked his vehicle and hung around, and suddenly he saw that the cops were coming. The SWAT team came to him. They had guns drawn to confront him because they had gotten the report that there was a burglar in the house. And he said, no, this is my house. I'm not a thief. No. They said, well, prove it. So he got his keys, entered into the house. That is the passcode. That is the key. He entered in, and when he got in, he showed them his pictures. He said, listen, these are my pictures, my wife's pictures. They are all on the walls. The fact that he was able to enter into the house was what protected him. And there are a lot of believers who have been invited into a place of protection, a place of preservation, a place of joy. That is the presence of God. However, they have not entered. They have not entered into the place of their refuge. They have not entered into the place of protection. When my friend entered into that place, he was protected. As a believer, you need to enter. God tells us to enter boldly into the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy to help in time of need. But even though the Lord is inviting us, some people are not using the password. They are not using their keys. They are not using their code. And so they are stuck outside. They are outside protection. Even though they have access to protection, they are outside the place of joy. Even though they have access to the place of joy, they are outside the place of peace and the place of strength. If only they would put in the passcode, things would be different. It is like having your cell phone. Your cell phone has your pictures, it has your videos, it has your files, it has your banking app. You can transfer money, and it has everything that you need on there. However, if you forget your passcode, you will not gain access to the good things that are in there. And that is the situation with some believers. Today, it is my prayer that you would always remember the passcode. In this Thanksgiving season, you will not just put on weight in the flesh, but you are going to put on weight in the spirit, because you are going to use the passcode, and you will always be in the presence of God, giving him glory, giving him praise, and by so doing, you will be strengthened. You will become heavy spiritually. I encourage you, it is time for you to use the password. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I love you so much, and we'll connect again later. Bye-bye.